Hey ya, Rose back with another Rose Explains fighting game terms for new players, and today we've got kind of a big one. We're going to be talking about neutral. This encompasses a lot of different things and is actually used in a handful of different scenarios. For example, something like a neutral heavy would be a heavy without pressing any directional buttons. But the neutral I want to talk about today is the game state neutral, where neither player is outwardly attacking or defending. Neither player has too big of an advantage. Both players are in a neutral state. You can think of it as like a round start state, for example, where both players are a little too far away to really run their offense, but too close for zoners to really be in a good position. That's what neutral is. The way neutral actually plays is very dependent on the game. However, a good way to think about it is when players are moving back and forth, trying to get closer or farther away to bait out their opponent pressing a button that will miss or whiff. This is typically called footsies or something along those lines, but the way that neutral is decided is whoever happens to close the distance on their opponent first with plus frames, which is something we'll talk about a little bit later. But generally, what an opponent will do when they cause you to whiff is they will attack instead, closing the gap during your recovery frames and getting their first hit in, and sometimes a big combo. There are other situations where special moves and the like may actually get you out of a neutral situation faster. For example, something like Kai's Stun Dipper is often considered a neutral skip, or something like in Grand Blue, Lucilius's 2-2 Heavy will neutral skip right to the opponent, or actually all of his 2-2 moves will. So these are things that skip through the neutral phase, but they generally have a fair amount of counterplay, whether that be something like blocking in Kai's Stun Dipper case, or something else entirely. Neutral also depends a lot on the speed of the game. If a game has multi-jumps or air dashes, neutral plays generally a lot differently than something like Street Fighter, where it's very focused on what you can do, and when you see someone jumping at you, a simple anti-air is typically the answer. You don't have to worry about instant air dashing or air blocking or anything like that. But that is what the neutral game is, and I hope this helps a little bit when you hear people talk about neutral.